Hey, I'm Patrick Harvey with Exerceo, and with career fair season in full swing, we wanted to give you some more insight into our working groups. So we sat down with three of our alumni, Jared Galanis, Dustin Saunders, and Kevin Eder, to talk about their experiences and how the working groups helped them get where they are today.
My name is Jared Galanis. I'm a software engineer at Johns Hopkins University.
I'm Dustin Saunders, and I work as a software engineer for Interclips.
My name's Kevin Eder, and I'm a DevOps engineer slash system administrator.
So during my college career, I tried to look for as many opportunities as possible. The founder of Exerceo, Brian Walsh, actually posted a couple different spots for all of the companies that he supported, including Exerceo. So I applied, and that evening, Brian Walsh himself, the founder, called me directly and was like, "Hey, you posted. What's going on?" And kind of did a pseudo phone interview with me at the time, just to figure out where I was in my career. As a college student, I only had like one other internship, so I was still learning and all that, but I had found it through a posting at UMBC Works, and then just from there, the rest is history.
So I was connected to Exerceo through family that knew of the organization and people that were involved, and the value that it can provide to folks looking to expand their technology expertise, which I was looking to do at the time.
So when I first met Brian, I kind of interviewed for a job, and he was like, "Okay, like I have some openings for you, but there's this thing I'm trying to get together on Saturday mornings, and if you can get together, I think there's a lot of room for growth there." So I was kind of working with Brian just on his commercial side for a little bit, and he was like, "I think there's going to be room for growth here," and I was all for it because I wanted to not do what I was doing at the time. Yeah, and he was like, "Well, what about doing some computer engineering?" And I was like, "Let's do it. Let's get into it." So it was just a great way to start off on something new and kind of like have a foot in the door with someone who I already trusted and knew.
I thought I was just going to get some tips and tricks on how to be a better programmer at the time. Something that might adhere to something that I was doing in class. Make me a little more efficient in class. Not at all was I expecting all the soft skill development and all the talk that we had, and the real world lessons learned and experiences from some of the mentors at the time. I mean, it was starkly different, and I think after the second session, I kind of had to reorient my brain around what we were actually doing at the working groups at the time.
So my experience was fantastic. I learned a lot of new fundamental skills that are still paying dividends even today after several years of working as a software developer. I found exactly the collaborative culture and solutions-oriented approaches I was hoping I would find. People in the program were really always very game to help each other work through problems. It felt like we're all playing on the same team and working towards common goals on the projects that we were involved in. I just had a great experience throughout.
So formal education is very good at teaching concepts. The working groups are very different. It's not about concepts. It's very much about the application of those concepts. There's a huge gap between where school takes you and places you once you graduate, and where the workforce actually wants you to be. And you can't substitute in the work experience that you get from having an internship or having some sort of work experience. School just doesn't provide that. So going to the working groups and doing that little extra bit actually projected me above and beyond where I thought I was going to be coming out of college. And so I really got out of it, that I had to apply myself and do some of these things that we were talking about in order to actually see myself grow, as opposed to just talking about them.
Having other members of the working group cohort along with you and exceptional guidance from the seasoned professionals that are instructors of the working group available there in real time was super valuable. I think it's easy to spin your wheels as a new software developer, and having people ready to jump in and help short circuit some of those hours that you might otherwise have wasted on hard to solve problems, especially for a new developer, that's incredibly valuable. The fact that it's meant to provide you with all the skills necessary to succeed at entering the field, not just information about particular technologies, but that it also includes some soft skills as well. You'll get out of the program what you put into it. So if you come ready to apply yourself, you remain open to the potential of learning from others and sharing what you know, you'll get a lot from these working groups.
for me, getting up at 6 a.m. at 21 and 22 was hard because all of my friends were going to the bars every night. And, there were definitely some social gatherings I missed out on. But when, you work hard and you have that dedication, like, I have good relationships and I have good skills that I wouldn't have had if I was out those times. I still, obviously have to have fun and stuff, even despite that. But after doing it, it was like, oh, getting up at 6:30 to go to work's really easy at this point. I was up at 5 on Saturdays, so.
Once all of the sessions were over, my first thought was, when's the next round of working groups? And it wasn't necessarily that I don't feel like I learned anything, but I knew that going back a second time and maybe a third time, I could potentially learn something new, or apply myself in different ways, or pick up the little thing that I didn't pick up last time. It was kind of a reinvigoration, almost a reawakening, an epiphany moment. At the end of it all, it was really, I kind of felt motivated too. It was kind of a motivation to go and show how I can, use these things and see the actual progress in real time of my abilities as well as the work that I was doing. That it took me a couple times to really understand is that the whole process is about continual learning and continual growth through learning, and that we're never done learning when it comes down to it. We're always learning something new. We're always trying to improve ourselves. We're not perfect. There's no way that we can ever achieve it, but we can strive to be that way.
I feel like I would not be where I am today, and I'm in a spot that I'm pretty proud of. I don't think that I'd be working where I am or involved in the open source projects that I'm involved in without the foundations that I learned both at the working group and the incubator.
Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in learning more, you can go to exerceo.org/enroll, or you can check out any of the links down below. We'll see you next time.